This video gives an overview of how I give assignments in the class. This is the first assignment, and I describe the assignment along with the directions of what they need to do to set things up. Because my assignments include a grader, I must include the Unix C shell because that's the basis of my graders. I also provide a key program, and I instruct the students how to run the key program. The purpose of the key program is to show them how the behavior of their program must be. I'm trying to get them to pay attention to things such as the dialogue between the user and the program. So things like prompting for input, displaying output, how you say the prompts, how you say the output. I'm trying to get across to them that's a critical key, because when you write a program for a customer, they have the right to specify the dialogue. All right, so let's quickly just run the key so that you can see. But the purpose of this program is this. Your sister sets up a Girl Scout cookie stand where she sells cookies for $3.50, and she also accepts donations. On a given day, she sells to exactly 2 customers. So she must solve the problem for 1 customer and just repeat that for the second. If you run the key, oops, didn't mean to do that. If you run the key, you do it in the terminal. I don't want to take too much time. To run the key, I tell them just say /key. It will run the key. How many boxes? 2 boxes. The donation is 50. Oh, didn't mean that. Meant 50 cents. No boxes, and the donation is 25 cents. So at the end of the day, they have made these donations and sold this much. Okay? So that the prompt, the wording of the prompt is very explicit. They must follow that. I teach them basically to copy and paste to avoid making mistakes. All right. I also include a copyright. I try to have the students to designate that this is their intellectual property by including a copyright. Now, here is the program written by a particular student. Okay. If you look at the code, it looks pretty good, looks very close. They, of course, are not following the indentation or the coding standard as I would like. Don't know how to get them to do it. But it looks like the program is okay. So I provide a grader so that they can grade their own work, so that they can see ahead of time what their score will be. So if they want to grade, the grader is here. So it's /grade. And it goes through a whole bunch of stuff. It basically tests the programs by running multiple test cases, checking the answers. The answers, of course, should match what the key is telling them. So at this point, there's a grading report that's produced. And it's a file that they can look at, so they can see. They get so many points for submission, so many points for compiling, so many points for documentation. In documentation, I'm looking for the standard documentation header, which looks like this. In this case, I give them the starting point, so they don't have to write code from scratch. I give them all of this. They've got to fill it out. That's all I want them to do. Okay? And get back to the terminal. Got to get this done. Go back to the grading report. Okay? So it looks like they're doing okay, but they did not put the author. They have to use their login as the author, and they have to be it's case sensitive, so they have to pay attention to that. So they got that. The copyright, my grader is wrong. It's looking for 2019. They should have said 2020. It's a consistent error, so everybody gets it wrong. No, there's no bias. All right. And then we look at the output. Notice that I'm giving a test case. The first customer gives $1, second customer gives $1, buys one box, buys one box. So we know what the total sales should be. So I think we kind of have it. At the end, we have what their score is. And the primary deduction is because the copyright has the wrong date. There's another deduction missing. Not found means there's a deduction. The prompt isn't right. Enter something that the prompt isn't right the way they have it done. And I try to teach the students to pay attention to what the grading report is telling you, because that tells you what you got to fix to get the score that you want. Okay, so with that I will quit, but that's how basically all the assignments are given. Typically I give them a key program so that they observe what the behavior should be. I give them a grader so they can check for themselves what kind of scores they're having and what corrections they have to make. Again, all of the assignments work pretty much the same way as this.